Tanisha,
And I'm Kiara.
and you're now entering the sister chat. Welcome to Main Event Mamas. Oh God, I really almost forgot that.
You did. I was like, I don't know. But we have a special episode for you guys today.
We do.
We are officially 90 days into this podcast. So we thought it was a good opportunity to take you back to the beginning and talk about why it happened in the first place and share some things about us. And then we're going to talk about beyond motherhood because that's a whole nother concept and another part of the reason why we started Main Event Mamas. So before we get started, I just want to say this is your opportunity to hit that subscribe button, which will appear at some point on the screen to remind you to click that bell. But if you happen to be listening to us on Spotify or on one of the other podcast channels or even on our website, it's a good opportunity to also like us, follow us, also subscribe if it says that, but give us those 5 stars. 5 stars because the other ones don't work. That's what we're going to say. But also because you want to be the first to hear our content and just hear about all the Main Event Mama craziness that we have going on. And so now let's kick things off at the very beginning, Tanisha. Okay. So let's talk about what was the initial spark or conversation that led to us starting Main Event Mamas. And I think you could tell the story a little differently because it kind of was your fault. Wasn't it?
So ultimately, right, I think it was the simple fact that I still was not working. And you still had more time, even though you were working and doing your most
You
other
gotta take it back.
businesses.
This first conversation started way before that. Remember?
Wait, when? You talking about when
So
we
we
all
started
started
this
talking with our sister?
conversation.
We're talking
We
about
st-
that one?
yeah,
Or
the
we talking about
conversation back in December. Because remember, I had the outline for you guys back in December.
Oh.
So we're starting to go all
Okay,
the
so
way
that's
back at
when
the beginning.
okay. All the way back to the beginning. Okay. My bad. There's so many beginnings. Because we've been trying to do this for so long.
Yes. Yes, there are so many beginnings.
So yes. So initially, back in when we both found out that we were going to be laid off.
Like a week or two apart.
Yes, a week or two apart. We literally found out that we were going to be laid off because of whatever with those people.
Corporate
So,
restructuring, ...
yeah, whatever that means. Anyway. So, we talked about it. You, me, and our other sister, Kay. And we were like, all right, fine. So you came up with the outline. First, you came up with names. You had
Yes.
to pick names. And then we threw it in our family group chat. And we picked the names. It was supposed to be Main Event. It was Main Event Mama. What was the other one? Main Event
I
Mama,
have
some
no
other name, and some
idea.
other name.
It was awful.
It was awful names. It wasn't awful names. Hold on. It wasn't awful
Okay,
names.
wait. It wasn't that bad. I think it was like Slams and Sisterhood, or I don't know. It was.
Hold on.
There was
I'm
like
about to tell you real quick.
three
If we
different
do
ones.
it, I'm gonna do it.
Oh God, she's not going to bring up the email, but I want to take it back
I
even a little
am.
bit further from that.
Go ahead. You do
She's
that while
not
I
bringing
pick
this
this
up.
up.
That's crazy.
I am.
To take it back at least
I
a
sure
little bit
am.
further.
If we're gonna go
So,
back from the
like,
beginning, we're going
I
back to
kind
the
of like to
beginning.
talk about. We are, because I think it makes sense to understand. So we have a very dynamic family. We have 6, 7 siblings. We're all really tight. We all have the same father. And it was a unique kind of experience to grow up because most people in this situation, they didn't kind of grow up as tight as we did. Despite us having different moms, our dad worked really hard to make sure we spent summers together, that we spent a lot of time together, and that we knew that we were family. He also named us accordingly. So everybody's name starts with a K because his name
Except
started with a
two
K.
brothers. Yes.
Except 2 brothers, but that's where the complications come in.
That's another thing. But all of us starts with a K.
For the most part, the main core who knew that we were his kids at the time, we started with K's. And Dad had this great way of building camaraderie among all of us. We spent a lot of time together. We got into a lot of shenanigans together. And so we grew up tight. And I feel like we're not just family, we're friends with each other. And we've been through their every course of life together, especially the sisters in particular, because me and you are almost exactly the same age. which
we could go into at some point, we will go into that story about how our parents or how our mothers found out about the other we'll go into that story at some point,
but
but
not
not
today.
today.
Not today, because I don't think my mom would appreciate that one. So we're gonna hold off until I'm sure she's not listening. But anyway, I definitely think it was a lifeline to me. Like, us getting laid off at the same times, marriages, divorces, children. I feel like my family has kind of been always there to be that backbone, to be the people who cry with you and laugh with you through all the things. So we have a sister chat, and I remember in our sister chat, I was just reading through all the messages and thinking about how many times that we helped each other with random things. Like, my teenager's crazy. Who else wants to jump off the nearest bridge? Like, it was real serious. And I was talking to people at my job and other people I just happened to run into about my sisters and the fun stories and our lives and how like it's a never ending drama. And I remember them telling me like, I wish I had people like that in my life. So I got to thinking, why not share that kind of conversation with the world? How many people who are moms out there? Because a lot, like I said, we became moms young. So most of my friends
We
were like,
did.
"Hey,
My
deuces,
friends were
Kiara."
not yeah, my friends left me in the high hiatus
They
of
were like,
anything because
"Kiara's not
they
for
were
this life."
like,
So
they came, they was like, "Oh, here's a gift. Oh, look at our nephew, he's great," and then they was like,
yes.
"See you
Bye.
later."
Right. And it was hard because I think most moms deal with the fact that, especially when you're younger, when you have children and you're in a different stage of your friends, you have no one to talk to about the
And it
terrible
was just
twos
us
or the
2.
fact that you haven't slept
Uh-huh.
in 48 hours because your baby's sick. Like, just, I remember having that, being able to be like, I'm so tired and it's awful and the world is awful. And I wanted to share that kind of with the world. So that was kind of my initial kind of thought process. All right, now tell me what the names were.
Okay, so the names were are you ready? Sibling Slam,
See, I knew a
raising
slam something.
raising kids and throwing down, Mom's Life, and Match Nights. The tag team trio, parenting, wrestling, and adulting. Then, of course, main event mamas, but it was supposed to be Sisterhood, Smackdowns, and Sanity. We changed that up. And then the Sister Slam session, chatting kids, careers, and championships.
So, the
So,
throwdown though, I think I'm taking that. We're gonna bring that back as a segment, the
okay,
throwdown, because I
okay,
think that's a
we
good
definitely
one to
can. That's a good one.
definitely gonna
That's a good
bring
one.
that back. So yeah, all right. So I want to talk
So
about that.
now,
Yes.
wait. So now, okay. So you said gave that one, but pretty
Yes.
much going back to me and saying about the story and how we got
Yes.
into it is because then once we both got laid off
Hmm.
and we knew that was coming, it
We're
was
gonna
like
have time on our hands.
we had time. So I kind of was like in the sister chat, like, so hey guys, do we want to visit that podcast since no one's doing anything? Yeah. Can we do it now?
Well, not no
Can we
one. Our third
I
sister
mean,
was busy.
she was busy, but she also worked from home. So she, it seemed like all our schedules were starting to somehow align. And
Yes.
it was just like, so, do we want to think about it? Then Kyara came up with the names in the outline because she did give us an outline too of things we could talk about. Everyone voted. So not just us. We voted, our brothers voted, our kids voted,
They
and
did.
everyone picked main event mamas. And it was kind of like at first I was like, I guess.
No
I
one
wasn't
really like was on board except
yeah,
me
like
and my kids.
right. But it was kind of like since no one else seconded the motion and we didn't have anything else we liked, it just became main event mamas.
Welcome to my
Then
life.
then the months happened where we actually weren't working or I wasn't working
I got
and
another
you
job.
just started working. And I was just like, well, for one, I went on vacation. I went on a needed
Yeah.
vacation for my
She went on
birthday.
vacation while I was working. So,
But she chose that life. She wanted to go back to work quickly. I was like, I need a break. I've been
that's
working for
true.
8 years straight. No, I need a break. And but then I would say what? It became March where it finally was like, hey,
Yes, we
are
got
we
back into
going?
March, yes.
Yes. So back in March, it finally was like nothing was happening. We didn't say anything with nobody. Like it was just like in the air. And then I was like, "Hey, are we gonna do this or what?" And then that's how it became just us two because at that time a lot of things were happening. Our sister was very, very occupied, and she just did not have time. And unfortunately, it was like if we don't do this now, I don't think it's gonna ever happen because we've been trying to do this for 2 years. So we need to kind of like
Yeah, because we talked about it even way back. So even before December is when I put the outline together with the names, but, like,
mhm,
we had been talking about it before that too.
we've
Yeah,
been talking about it. So yeah, so I think was more of the persistent sister
the pestering
about
one, yes.
yes,
Mhm.
and kept asking every week, "Well, did you buy your headphones? Well, we need a mic. Did you buy yours? I bought mine. Can you get yours?" Until finally April came because we literally was having production meetings every day
We were, yep,
until it finally was like, "Okay, we need to come up with a day that we're actually gonna do it." We have our headphones. That's hence, as you see, we have matching headphones because it was
we
me
do,
who kept pushing it. We don't
yes.
have matching mics because
No, because
she
mine's is
wanted
way better.
okay,
Also, it
whatever.
lights up and it
So does mine.
mine's is better. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, so you can thank me for why has happened
Mhm,
and why we're here. But however, the person who is the butter and the grinder is Kiara.
yeah.
She
I'm the
keeps the
producer. I do all the
whole
things.
machine moving.
I did. I did. I found the platform and I used my background in marketing and PR and comms to kind of launch us out there. And that
That's
leads us
so
to our
crazy.
second question, right?
Uh-huh.
So, when we first launched, like, what was your biggest hopes and kind of dreams for this podcast?
Think I really had any dreams or aspirations when it came to the podcast. It was just more so doing something with my sisters that would be new, exciting, and fun, and something that just translated our everyday life so everybody else can see. Cause I mean, just like you, I have friends, coworkers, and I'll be telling they be like, either you need to write a book or you need to tell somebody because
Right.
because
Like,
this is crazy. So, so ultimately, I think I was just doing this more as in another way to get closer to you guys, another way to be able to see you guys on a regular basis, especially since we live in different states.
mhm.
So anything that's happening with it now are blessings because I definitely wasn't like, oh yeah, we have to have this many followers and trying to achieve. And even now, I'm still not trying to achieve us to be uh to get money from it because this is I, I, I want this to continue still being fun. So this is one of the things I look forward to throughout the week.
Yeah. I mean,
So yeah.
I agree with you in a lot of that. I will say I did have kind of some initial hopes, and a lot of them are the same as yours. Like having those daily, we were talking frequently, but we weren't talking as much as we talk now. Like we talk every single day, and when we don't, we notice it. We're like, I didn't call you," and so somebody needs to call somebody. Are you okay? SOS.
I think the longest we've gone is 24 hours, and it was like, so I didn't hear from you, and you didn't text me, so what was up with that?
That's right. So, which I love. I love that closeness, but I also wanted to be able to shed light on some of the things that I think that we think are important. Like as we've dealt with some of these things, it's kind of like a free therapy session. And I hope you guys are getting that too, where you have someone who you can hear our crazy stories with our kids and even the more serious concepts when we talk about mental health or we talk about diagnoses or we talk about, some of the challenges our kids might be facing. The idea and my hope is that people don't feel alone the way that I used to feel is when I was going through it, I'd be like, "Oh my God." Like, nobody gets it. And I was lucky that we happened to have kids around the same time. But even then, there was a time we didn't share some of that stuff, and it would be like,
Yeah, I
I
didn't
didn't
understand
know.
what it was like to having 2 kids under the age of 2 until I had the other 2. Then I
That
understood,
is
but by
why I
that time
stopped at 2.
but by that time, your kids were teenagers and is like, I can only relate with you with the teenage stuff because I can't relate with you the other stuff because you already experienced that. I haven't
Mhm.
experienced that. Which also
Yeah.
brings in our other sister
Yeah.
because
She got
me
kids
and
too.
her,
Yeah.
our kids are literally right behind each other. So it was like
Mhm.
I was pregnant, she was pregnant. She was pregnant, I was pregnant. Or like it was like we kept going back and forth. Meanwhile, me and you only were pregnant at the same time with our oldest. So,
That's
but
right.
at the same time, I think too that played a part in our relationship because we've always been close.
Yeah.
Just because we are 2.5 months apart. And so what? I don't care. So it's
I mean,
happened.
no, we always called
We
ourselves the
always were
twins.
always kinda close. Yes,
Yeah.
we were always twins. Like, she definitely when we were younger, we can feel each other's emotions
Mhm.
from far, far away.
But I still think we do. Like,
I think we do
I
too,
think we
but
do still because I'm like, "Something's wrong," and my husband's like, "You're on your phone with your sister again. Something's wrong." I think that poor man's like, "Your sister's on the phone?" He just looks to the left like, "It's your sister." I'm like, "Yep, bye."
listen, when you call me at 8 o'clock, I'm like, "Hello, are you sure?
Yes.
You sure you okay? You
Yes.
sure? Because you don't normally call me at 8. Are you sure?
No,
You sure
exactly.
about this? Who did it?"
Yeah. So, like so when I think about, like, having those kinda hopes of people, just to get back to the
Oh,
question,
yeah, sorry,
having
we
those
got
the
my
hopes
bad.
of people feeling like they have someone who gets it and that it's relatable and that it's also funny that you get to, like, experience stuff through our eyes that is just comedy of errors sometimes. And I feel like in that case, a lot of times it's been surpassed. Like, I feel like everyone I share the podcast with is like, "Y'all are crazy." And this is funny, and they feel like they're part of our tribe. So I always hope that people feel like you have a sisterhood and that ultimately we can continue building that, and seeing where we can take it, not just as mamas, but mamas who are women and have other interests and thoughts and feelings. And also, I feel like I've also got the opportunity to connect with like other people online who are like, yeah, same, same. And then wrestling fans. That has been the most
Yes.
fun
Yes.
overall, I think, for me is to have someone who gets it because when you grow up and you're a Black woman, they don't think you like wrestling. They're just like, that's not a thing I would ever, especially if you see me at work, they're like, nah, that's a lie. I'm like, nope, you could quiz me. It's like, I know
Like, I
the
definitely was
things.
the kid in middle school telling people to suck it, like, I wasn't.
I had DX shirts. I went to like all the events.
And my family on my mom's side definitely knew because I remember my cousin bought me a DX, a onesie for my
I had a
oldest.
onesie.
I had a onesie, I had a DX onesie, I was like,
That's
"Thanks."
crazy work.
I don't think he ever wore it because I was like, "You are not messing this up." But
That's
I have it
fair.
somewhere in a
Somewhere.
time capsule somewhere.
Somewhere.
But yeah, so yeah, that's how, it was me. I was persistent.
Yeah, I blame you, and you did a great job. All right,
Thanks.
so thinking back on those early sessions, because that was a moment in time. What is a funny or a memorable behind the scenes moment that really you feel like captures our dynamic and our energy with each other?
Me.
Yep, I was gonna say I could tell you a million times. If you guys saw how many bloopers we have just starting the show, you would not believe
Not listening.
see how they go. It just like she's in the middle of like, "Yeah, oh wait, what?" Like, "What do you" this is the same opening we have every time. I think it became real to me when I found the theme song, right? And I was like, "This is the theme song."
Okay,
And
hold
then
on.
we
Objection. I found the theme song because at first you didn't really like it. You was like, "Let's keep going." I was like, "That is it. It's, we
wait
wanna
a minute.
party."
I'm the
Yes.
one who took us
No,
to
no,
the
no, no.
website.
You took us to the website, but I'm the one who said
Do you
this
see?
should be the
This
one.
is this is representative of our dynamic. This is this is representative of our natural dynamic. Both of us wanna be right.
It's also kind of weird, right? Because 'Cause I'm the oldest. But if I didn't say that, would you have known that I was the oldest?
No. And in fact, as the middle child, everyone assumes I'm the oldest. So, that's fun. I think that I was like, that pretty much captures our energy. But her pushiness, I will say, "This is the microphone I found. This is the headphone." Like, I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta buy this week before she asks me one more time."
I
Like,
mean, so did you
because
buy it? Because then by this time we were on the phone talking more. So I was like, "So did you buy it?" Did you do it? This is what happens when you have one sister who was idle and is not doing anything really, just chilling. Because it's also weird for me too. This gives me a little bit of structure. At least
Yes.
I know that I have something to do on one particular day. Unlearning structure has been the most craziest thing in my life because
I still have structure. It's still embedded in my life because I still work full time and still have a business and I think I would disagree. I would say, like, you still have the kids who have to get up, you still have to do some of that stuff, but, you know,
they're
they
like
have been
kind of
doing a
got
lot of that on
unstructured.
their own.
They kind of got unstructured too. Mom don't wake up all the time at 6 o'clock in the morning because I don't really got to. What am I waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning for to make sure
I
everybody?
love this for her. So if you're out there and you're a mom like her, help me because I don't understand that. I wake up at 6 o'clock even when my kids are asleep. Like on summer break, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I mean,
Period.
I'm not saying I don't wake up because I have my alarm still set to 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just easier for me to press snooze because
I
why
love this
should
for
I
her.
get up?
I love this for her. All
But
right.
I need to get back to it though. But anyway, yes.
So what's one thing you've learned about podcasting or even about yourself since we started this? I know this is gonna lead us to our next section.
Um, well, podcasting, it is hard because anybody can get a mic, but to actually gain traction, to get people to actually watch, to get people to believe in your product as much as you believe in yourself and your product, it's a lot of work. Um, I ain't gonna lie, I definitely was slacking in the beginning because I was like, "Yeah, you got it. I'll take care. I'll do it." But now I have been definitely doing a lot more to put us out there, especially on Instagram, because you
You're
know,
likely talking to her on Instagram, not me.
yes, me. If I send you something and you see Main Event Mamas, it was me. I liked you. I like what we were talking about, and love to collaborate at any point. At some point in time, we would like to have people on here also experiencing life because life is so different. I could tell you that oh no, I don't want to get emotional. This is gonna get emotional. See, this is what we talk about therapy. This is not a
Yeah, it's like free therapy. We hope you're getting that from this too. I know I'm getting free therapy
yeah,
from
because I
this.
mean it's definitely have made me more aware of things that I may have not been aware about. Regarding myself, regarding my children, um, and even like it's a learning experience. I think it's also rediscovery of yourself and where we are now because who would have known if we did this 2 years ago, if this would have been where it is now within the 90 days? I don't think it would have been because our lives were so chaotic 2 years ago. Um,
God, no. Not
you
with that
know,
other job. I wouldn't be here.
right, like, it was and should be honest, I think we would have been recording maybe once a month. It wouldn't have never been the caliber of what it is at right now. Um, but to really to zone in, like learning a lot about myself by talking out loud and saying certain things. And yes, reading y'all comments, positive and negative. And for the person who said that I was high, I wasn't. I was tired. That's what tired looks like on me. But see, you don't know that, and that's okay. But my sister does because we can talk about a summer when they discover what happens to me when I have too much sugar, my eyes and tiredness, and too much sugar and tiredness. It's not a I couldn't see. My eyes were slits, but I was awake. It wasn't
We
fun.
tell her to go to sleep.
Yeah, but no. But we were recording a demo, so I had to be awake. So, it was one of those
That's
things,
another thing you guys learned. We have a demo.
which y'all would probably never hear because we
Oh,
sounded terrible now
yes,
as
we did.
adults as we listen to it.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Even though we actually can sing, but I was like, I don't know
We
what the heck
can.
happened there.
I
But
don't know. I don't that could have been because I was tired and I was pushing through, and I probably shouldn't have. But so just so you're aware, sir, on TikTok, that's what I look like when I'm tired. Extremely
okay.
tired when I can't keep my eyes open.
Yes. We also record late at night. Okay, so this is where I wanna say I learned a lot. It is hard, finding a platform, meeting people, networking, all things that I love to do. I think I've discovered how much I enjoy being in front of the camera, something I never, ever, ever did. I
See, I
never
never had that problem.
I
I'm
exactly.
sorry. It's your moment. I messed up.
Yes,
I'm
that's her.
sorry.
That's her. Yeah, I never was someone who really enjoyed being in front of the camera. I don't know why. I just didn't, and now I it was an opportunity to see myself differently, to see myself as a woman and not just a mom, right? But also to see myself as a Black woman, a professional, and someone who can be kind of funny because I think my family thinks I'm hysterical, but most of the world thinks I'm super serious, which I'm not. So there's
She's
that. But I also want to transition this because I think
okay. Where we at?
often as mothers, you feel like you might be pigeonholed into kind of this role in a sense of like you're just a mom. And
That's
I
what
think,
pigeonhole means.
huh?
Tell me what
Pigeonhole, it
that
means like put in a
a
box, like
box. Oh, okay.
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
as you can see, I'm smart, but she used a lot of
Yes.
big words, so I don't.
A couple degrees, that's all. Anyway, just a couple.
That's right. She
Um,
got a couple degrees. So y'all talking nonsense. She
it wasn't
Jakar, she
easy.
not a. It wasn't easy.
Wasn't easy, but it's why I'm kinda good at this. Shout out to Full Sail. But I wanna go back to what I'm saying. So as
Okay.
mothers, our identities are often heavily intertwined with our children, right? So what was the moment of realization, and we're both gonna answer this, in which truly highlighted your need to rediscover yourself outside that role? And I'm gonna start because
I
I
was
think
saying
this
that in
ties
my
in.
head. That's like you should start.
Yes, I'm gonna start because this ties very much into the last question. So for me, losing the job it shook me to the core, right? So it shook me foundationally. Like, who are you if you're not the person who runs a department and takes care of everyone in the house? Like, I have a very strict schedule. Everyone knows it. It's how we exist, and it works. It works for all of us. Everyone knows what to expect. There's no different. But when that schedule's up in the air, it was almost like I had a, like, crisis of, like, who am I if I am not this worker? If I am not the person who runs this? If I am not the person who can provide for my family, even though my husband and I work together, but if I'm not the person that my kids can come look at as somebody steady, who am I? And this podcast, coming out of all of that, was an opportunity to say, like, I'm a lot of things. Right? Like, yes, I'm a mom. Yes, I'm a wife. Yes, I'm a sister. I'm also a huge wrestling fan. I am in love with most of reality TV, not all of it. Love Island, though. I'm a stan for Love Island. Nick Landria, all the way for me here. I'm also someone who loves entertainment in all forms. I love movies. I love books. There's so many complex pieces to a person. I'm a simmer. I get down on Sims 4 and I can play for hours without moving, and I've done this for probably more than half my life at this point, and it's my primary driving force in buying gaming computers at this point in my life. But there's so many pieces to all of us as people. We used to sing. I used to play clarinet. Like, there's so many pieces to you that I feel like by being removed from that job, I was able to see all the other pieces that I just let go unnoticed or unheard or unthought of. And this was my opportunity to see it. And I feel like the podcast gives me the opportunity to rediscover those pieces of myself. And it's hard to remember who that person was as you get older and you put on the mom and the wife and all the things. I feel like people feel like grow up means give away all your hopes and dreams. In a lot of ways, it becomes something like small and undercover versus letting that evolve and help you become a full and like a better, well rounded person. So, all that to say is like I felt like it allowed me to rediscover a lot of things about myself, including aligning how the fact I like to be organized and along with the same person who likes to chill sometimes. And I don't feel like this is work, so it doesn't bother me. Also, I became a wicked good video editor. That's the other thing I picked up throughout this. So, Tanisha, your turn to answer.
It's kind of hard to follow. I mean,
It's not.
I mean, it is. I
It's
mean,
not.
listen, because I mean, I'm gonna try to do this without getting emotional.
You can get emotional. It's just us here.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be crying on national YouTube. I don't wanna be doing all that.
International YouTube.
Whatever. It's still other people watching me cry. It's not like it's just me and you. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do this without crying. When I lost my job, oh no, I don't think it's gonna happen. My eyes are already getting watery. When I lost my job, I lost the sense of stability. I've always been the stable one um in my household. Uh Even when I was married, I was a stable one. We always knew I was going to have a job. And while I balanced everything else in life. Um so losing my job, not based off of my work ethic, not based off of, you know, me not doing something right or whatever, or me not achieving whatever their goal is, but to lose my job because they are terminating my position nationwide and turning it into something regional. And then they didn't even think about me because they wanted the 2 flag stores. And knowing that the person that they picked wasn't the right person for the job because they couldn't handle it just on a daily day basis hurt. And I think it's still something I struggle with. So the podcast definitely gives me a different meaning. But I'm still struggling with stability. I'm still struggling, but still trying to redefine who I am. It's still hard because yes, I'm divorced. I've been raising my kids pretty much their whole lives, even when I was married. There is a thing being married but still being a single parent. Uh
Yes,
and
ma'am.
and financially still taking care of my children and making sure that whatever they need is being taken care of regardless if I have help or not. So this podcast for me is an outlet, and it's taught me that I can probably still go after things that I dream about. I can tell you with me getting this mic, I've definitely thought about my children. They want them seeing me do this. They want to start their own podcast. So look forward to that. They're coming out soon. Uh I will tell you their names once everything is all done.
Got you. Got you.
But I don't know. I think I'm still discovering myself. I mean, I definitely can say the layoff did help me a little bit. My family knows I'm a dancer. A lot of people don't know I'm a dancer.
She's really good.
And, I went after and I actually went after 2, competitions? I
Mhm.
I and I would have never, ever thought I would have ever did that, especially as an adult. What, me? Over 30? Dancing? Professionally? Really? But I've definitely found that passion again. That's something I lost. So I do also too, I guess me having more time to try to figure out my businesses. I also bake.
Still waiting for her to ship me some cookies. I haven't gotten them.
I have multiple businesses I'm trying to launch. Um, but it's also giving me more time to really, I guess, pour into my children because there are multiple activities. Well, mainly the 2 youngest ones. Either a dance or a basketball or a football or gymnastics or something. Um, which I don't think I would have been able to do if I was working. I would have to take off and request off and do this and do that. And that's why even when I did get a job, it didn't last longer than a month because it wasn't working. It wasn't They were crying a lot and they weren't listening.
So what you're saying is that it
It
made
made me
you
appreciate my
kinda
life.
yes, but also to set boundaries about the things
Oh,
that
yes.
you are willing and not willing to accept.
Yes, yes. I think me getting that job in between made me understand that I can't just accept anything just because I don't know what to do with my time
Yeah.
or because I'm feel like also too, this is gonna tie into that. Hearing the outside noise of everyone telling me that what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
That's why I got that job because I kept hearing the outside noise of what I'm supposed to do as a mom, as a single mom, as a single Black woman, as a this is what I'm supposed to do, and living in someone else's truth, and I wasn't happy because I also was a caregiver. Technically, I'm still a caregiver, just far away,
Beyond your children, right?
beyond my children, which I don't knock. I love my brother to death. I would do anything for that man. So, I don't take that I didn't take that job lightly either. But that's still me understanding my boundaries, learning what I need to do. Um, and this podcast is something that
That you what? You're gonna make me cry.
it gives me a sense of purpose beyond
And I think I resonate with that. It definitely makes me feel like it's important.
like
I definitely wanna say I get that. I get the sense of purpose, and it also made me feel that I was able to reconnect with the Kiara that got lost along the way, right? That got lost amidst growing up, and lost amidst responsibilities. I said that a little bit, but I also think it's okay to feel like in the midst of everything else, you can lose that sense of purpose. Like, you're doing things for your kids, you're doing things for your household, but what are you doing for you? How are you filling back up your cup? And I think that's one of the lessons I've learned throughout this entire experience is that you also have to take care of you. And I know we talk about self-care a lot, and we did that in a lot of our early episodes. Shout out to y'all who are still watching them and giving us all the details about that. But I also feel like we talk about filling up that cup and remembering ourselves. You also have to pour and care for yourself because like they tell you, like you have to put on your
but
life's preserver, your
gotta do
life
your
vest
best.
first.
Gotta put the mask on first before you
That's
can
right,
go
before you can help
backstage
anyone
or help
else.
anybody else.
That's right. That's right. So we anything else you wanna mention about that?
I mean, also this, the another thing you didn't also know that we used to also write stories together.
We did.
Now, we're gonna tap back in there. I don't know, but we also did discover us writing our we started writing some books before. I
If
never
you
finished.
happen to
I haven't
be
finished though, but it's still there. It's on Kindle. Oh, she's my PR person if I ever get famous.
I am, but I also write the outlines of these episodes. I think we've gotten serious enough today, but I wanted to
All right. Hi. I'm
okay.
alive, kinda.
Well, that's important, and I'm glad that you're alive. Um, but this has been an episode for sure. But we wanted to give you a sneak peek into more about us and our origin story, and also kind of rediscovering yourself and have a quick chat about that. Um, I do want to wrap it up with one piece of advice you would like to give anyone else who is feeling kind of lost in their mom identity or their dad identity about starting the journey of trying to find yourself again. Like, what is one piece of advice you would give them?
Stop giving up on yourself.
Mm,
Um, Stop the negative thoughts in your head.
okay.
If you have a passion, I think the one thing we have to remember is our kids watch us. So we can't tell them to go after their passion while we're not going after ours. And there's a way to go after your passion to be able to motivate others and yourself as well as your children, because our children are our carbon copies. So they watch how we handle stress. They watch how we handle a difficult situation. They watch how we handle our happiness. They watch how we handle anger. So the one thing I can say is don't give up on yourself. Remind yourself of who you are. And if you don't know, write it down or do a video of you just talking to yourself to get whatever your thoughts and stuff out to rediscover yourself. Because I can definitely tell you, just this here Main Event Mama podcast has helped myself, and I can speak for you, helped you as well and rediscovering ourselves as Tanisha and Kiara,
That's
and
right.
not just mom, not just the worker, not just the sister, not just the girlfriend, the wife, the daughter. It helped us discover ourselves, and we're still discovering ourselves,
That's right.
but it definitely put us in a better situation. So that's the piece of advice I would give is just stop giving up on yourself.
Yeah. I think that's an important piece of advice. If I had to give any advice, I would say it doesn't have to be something like a job loss that catapults you into this discovery, right? Often I think we use trauma and we handle trauma differently. And with the things that we've experienced, we always move forward, right? That's just kind of how we've all learned in our family, or us in particular, learned to cope is just to keep going because there's something on the end of that,
Mhm.
on the other side of the sadness or the pain or the frustration. But it doesn't have to be. There's every day is an opportunity for you to rediscover yourself, and it doesn't have to be big. Sometimes it's just like a part of that was even the Kindle Vella contest. Like we started talking about it, then we started writing, and then we started doing it. And suddenly that was a door that opened again that had been closed previously. It made me curious about people. It made me interested in what I would write. So I would say don't let it be something catastrophic. Don't wait for something like that to happen. Um, Take every opportunity if that's something you're interested in doing to do it. And you can start small. You don't have to do the bigger, the better. You don't have to start your own podcast to hear yourself talk. You can just you can do what we did initially, which probably talk to yourself in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like you don't gotta do all the things there. And then lastly, give yourself some grace. You don't have all the answers. Go ahead and move forward sometimes with hopes and dreams without necessarily all the skills, tools, and things. Because I found even in this journey, I had skills I didn't even know I had, and some of the skills that I've been using for years have come in handy. So that's what I would say. So with that, I just wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you to all of our viewers, all of our followers. You are the reasoning behind all the success that we've seen so far and what we hope to continue. I wanna say thank you for giving us a chance and spending some of your time, which is so valuable, and we recognize that it is, with us. Thank you for all the laughs and the comments and the engagement and the encouragement and even the criticism, especially you Marvel and DC people out there.
I was wondering when you was gonna
Um,
say
Thank
so.
you for telling me I am not educated in the comic book ways. I want to remind you to watch the other episodes in which I've already said that. So that's all.
Thank you,
Yes.
our tickety talk people, our tickety talks
Yes.
for getting us to 600 plus
Yes.
followers in such a short period of time. You have
That's
no
right.
idea what that means to us, to let us know that we
Yes.
are doing something good, that you guys actually enjoy seeing us on y'all screen whenever the time y'all look at it or watch it. That means a lot because I don't like we did that on our own by just
Mhm.
showing you who we are, and we're happy that you are intrigued enough to want to continue watching. So I thank you. And I think what we got now, we up to 100 subscribers on YouTube.
We're over
That's
100.
over. So
Mhm.
thank you as well. And I know we're up to 60 on Instagram. Like, and I think you do the Twitter and the and the thread, so I don't know where we're at on there. But
Yeah, I
so
don't
you could
know offhand,
oh,
but
okay.
all that to
But
say
thank you. Like,
yeah.
thank you for real. Like, that's another reason why I got emotional because this is something that I would have never thought that this was gonna be. We're just two beautiful Black women talking about our lives and wrestling.
Yep.
Never would have thought that that meant something enough to all of y'all. So I'm gonna say without getting emotional again, because I will not do that. Thank you from the bottom
Yeah,
of my heart, and just keep the love, keep sharing, keep pouring out there. Like she says, like, we post things on different places, so go follow us everywhere
that's right.
so you don't miss nothing, and continue watching.
We want to encourage you to follow us on all your favorite platforms. We want to remind you that, yes, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Threads, we're on TikTok, we're on X. You can also check out our website, www. or just maineventmamaspodcast.com. We even have a new section if you guys just want to leave us a voicemail. You may hear your voices on some of our future episodes.
So
We're
be
going to
careful
open
what
a
you say.
mailbox soon and let you guys ask us questions. Please leave appropriate voicemails. The ones that are inappropriate will be deleted.
You know what? Actually, no. Let's blast y'all for inappropriacy. Jeez. Anyway, sorry.
Where can they listen to our podcast,
Well, you can listen to
Tanisha?
us on iHeartRadio, on Spotify, of course, and still watch us too. You can also listen to us on Pocket Podcasts. You can listen to us on Amazon Music and
Mhm.
Amazon Audible. I'm gonna get that right one day. I think that's it. Yeah, we ain't
Yeah.
on Apple yet. We figuring that out. We'll be there soon, but we ain't on there yet.
So we'll get there. We'll get there. Anybody want to donate? Y'all shout us out. Send me a DM. Let me know if you want to pay for our annual Apple membership.
Yeah, but
We
soon.
accept donations
But also, so
as
I guess
well.
we should put it out there too. We're gonna start doing interviews, people. So
That's right.
be ready. Main Event Mamas is gonna start streaming out and doing a little interviewing and
We're gonna
getting
do
some
some live
things.
streams too.
Maybe some live streams too. But definitely, you can even put in the comments things that you feel like we haven't talked about, or if you want us to revisit some of them, or if you just need to talk about it and you want to hear our perspective. Leave us a comment so we can be able,
You can
or
ask the mamas anything. We may not answer, but you can always ask us.
and we'll probably definitely shout you out on this podcast if you, especially if you
100%.
ask something stupid. I'm just saying. Well, you can say I will shout you out because she may not. I will, because I don't got time for the stupidity.
How about this? Let's wrap this up. We're not new to this.
Shooting is always.
And this was Main Event Mama.